Hi guys, this is Asal. I'm back. I'm studying for the bar, so I'm still studying criminal law today. I described actus reus, mens rea, causation, so now I'm moving on to actually a very sensitive topic, and this has a lot into it, so I don't think I can cover it in like a 5-minute video. It might have to be 2 parts, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what we're talking about today. We are talking about homicide. Okay, so first of all, the world isn't actually always so black and white. There's always more to it. This is something that my professor always have to remind me because when I'm answering, I always like to pick a side and, kind of be the plaintiff or the defendant and just argue my way through one side. But that's not how professors like it in law school. They kind of want you to go back and forth, say, okay, this is what the plaintiff says. On the other hand, this is what the defendant says, so they kind of want you to basically think outside the box and see that there's always more to it than that. So what I'm gonna say is actually law is very gray, especially when it comes to criminal law, and especially when it comes to homicide. It is not so black and white. Okay, so first of all, with homicide, the first thing you want to think about is, has a human being actually been killed? Okay, that's the first thing you think about. The second thing you think about is, when does life legally begin and end? Okay, so there's a common law which says that life begins at birth, and the ending of life of an unborn child is basically not a crime, right? And then there's the modern law, okay, which says that life begins earlier than birth, which means if someone kicks a pregnant woman and her baby dies, ooh, that's still life, so ending the life of an unborn child is actually a crime. Okay, so something else I want to talk about is, what is the end of life? What does that actually mean? Okay, end of life usually means, in most cultures, internationally, I've studied international law, even in Iran or in the United States, is usually when you're brain dead, so yeah, because at that point life stops. Now I want to go and basically jump into the subject. Okay, so here we go. Homicide. Ugh, I've written it here, I've written it here, I've written it there, but I don't think you can see it. So, homicide has 2 parts, right? So there is murder, okay, homicide, murder, and then there's manslaughter. Okay, so actually, what is murder? Murder is the killing of another person with malice and aforethought, okay? Okay, so this is actually very important, especially under the common law. What is malice? Okay, malice is motivated by ill will, okay? And what is aforethought? Aforethought is basically premeditation, okay? So something else that I would like to jump into is this definition of malice. So it's 3 parts, so just listen and you can write it down. Malice. Malice is an intent to kill or cause grievous bodily harm, okay? Or knowledge that death or grievous bodily harm is likely to occur, okay? Or the intent to commit felony other than killing. That's those felony murder type of rules. Okay, so let's jump into the next part. I would like to talk about premeditation. Okay, so I would like to give you an example of what is this premeditation, okay? So just now think about poisoning someone, okay? That's premeditation. The wife wants to kill the husband, she cooks the food for him, and she puts it on the table, puts his glass of wine, and dumps a little poison. That's premeditation, okay? Or the use of explosives, someone's sitting in his garage and he's building explosives and he mails it to somebody, it's premeditation. He's planning that, and he's making it. Or basically torturing someone, you kidnap someone, you hold them in your room and you torture them, okay? That is a premeditated crime. Or lying in wait. Okay, so let's just move on, because I want to talk about you see right now I'm going to 4 minutes and I want to give you all the information. So here we go. I want to talk about establishing premeditation. Okay, so there's 4 parts to establishing premeditation, One is time, one is planning activity, the other is motive, and the other is like other circumstances that can happen. Okay, so all this time, 5 minutes is in, I was talking about the common law. Okay, now let's move on to the model penal code, because it's like a little slightly different. You know, like in history, they didn't have much like first degree, second degree murder, like things are like changing. So right now it's more of like the model penal code, but like, you know, they both kind of apply, and like in the bar exam they kind of want you to go like common law, model penal code, you know, kind of like that. So under the model penal code, murder is killing done with a purpose, knowledge, or recklessness. Okay, so that's, did I say it too fast? I don't think so. You can go and, you know, back and listen. Another thing is reckless killing. What is that? A reckless killing is a killing that manifests an extreme indifference to human life. Okay, so that's that. And then there is two different types of murder. There's first degree murder, there's second degree murder. First degree murder is willful, premeditated, and deliberate. Okay, and second degree is not. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stop at that, because I really want to make short videos. So have a good day. I hope you enjoy studying homicide. Bye.